Hello and welcome to week 1 of the pedagogy class. In this video I will give you a quick tour around the assignments for week 1. So as you can see, this slot here is where hopefully you will see this video that I am recording right now. So this will look a little different when you open it up because there'll be this video here. Okay, so as we go down our assignments, your first assignment is to take your first test, which is actually not a test, it's just an agreement. You click on yes, and that means that you agree to the terms of the course, and you must do this in order to get the stipend for the course. This is really nothing to do with me. This has come from the office. Okay, so that's just, it shows you what a test on Blackboard looks like if you've never seen that before. Secondly, the incoming survey. Just wait for it to open up. And this survey is really just an attempt to get to know the level of comfort people have with different aspects of the course, and to create an environment where we can easily capture some assessment data from the course. So none of these, the answers to these questions, and if you do a similar exercise with the students, you should emphasize this as well, that if you use Blackboard like this to take a poll, to get a flavor of the class for assessment, that it's not in any way connected to their grade. So this is not in any way connected to your grade for this course, which is basically pass-fail. Okay, so how you describe your prior experience of Blackboard, describe your prior experience with WebPoint 2 tools, such as discussion boards, blogs, wikis, etc., whether inside or outside of the Blackboard environment. How confident do you feel right now teaching online? And just as a general opinion, do you think that online classes can be as good as in-class classes? Then the next questions refer directly to the learning objectives for this workshop. So the objective is given, and you should grade yourself as sophisticated or proficient, capable or competent, satisfactory or adequate, still learning, or no experience. We'll make those last two a little non-confrontational. Okay, so these objectives are important, and you'll see them again when we get to our journals section, because this is part of what I asked you to do for the journaling, is to reflect on these course objectives. Okay, so that's the survey. Give me a second to get back to where I want to be. Okay, so we're back on this week 1 page. So those first two are very simple introductory exercises. The next 3 exercises, or 4 exercises, aim at getting you to look at some of the WebPoint 2.0 tools that are embedded within the Blackboard environment, which you may or may not have used before, either within the Blackboard environment or outside of it. And these are blogs, wikis, journals, and discussion board. While Blackboard has the facility to create tests and assignments as the same kinds of tests and assignments that you might use in an in-class class, one of the upsides of teaching online with Blackboard is that you have these other tools, blogs, wikis, journals, and discussion board, which really help you get to the heart of what your students are thinking and to experience their writing at a much earlier stage in the class than you might get in an in-class class. Again, and I will emphasize this throughout, you have to be very selective about which tools you use and what you want to get out of them, and also be realistic about the amount of time it's going to take you to grade assignments as well, so that you don't overload yourself with too much grading. Okay, so we'll start with the blog. And blogs, I use blogs a lot because I think blogs encourage students to write well, It's a little different than discussion board because they create a piece of writing which all the other students can see and comment on. And it's more like creating an essay. You can put pictures and maps and stuff inside a blog to create a real piece of work. It doesn't have the dialogue aspect of a discussion board, so people don't go backwards and forwards in the same way, but it's about students presenting something and then other people being able to comment on it. So that's basically what a blog is. So one thing I do when I set up my assignments is if there's anything that's an active link, I change the color of the title to blue. So this just kind of gives people a clue that this is something that you click on. So let's click on the Icebreaker blog here. And this takes you to the first page. These are your instructions. And so one thing to think about when you create a blog or a vlog, which is a video version of a blog, and you can certainly do that within Blackboard too, is make it attractive. You can change color, you can change the size of font, you can change the type of font. So for example, this here is in Comic Sans Serif, which, if you're trying to maybe convey something as a little more humorous, might be the style that you choose. There are also, when you open up your window, there are these buttons that you will see. This is to add a picture, this is to add a video instantly, and this is to add a file. Okay, so the Video Everywhere tool, this little target, this is awesome. This is an awesome addition to Blackboard. It means you can add a little video to students' grades if you're responding to an essay they've written or something bigger than that, or an instructional video, and it's the same little thing. So for your actual blog, what I want you to do is to answer this question. My teaching style is like a person doing an activity while listening to a certain song, band, or composer. So my teaching style is like Vincent Price making risotto while listening to Ella Fitzgerald. Okay. Of course, one of the things I want you to do here is not cut and paste about your teaching style directly from your PAF. This is why I'm asking it in such a sort of cheeky manner to get you to really think about this. Okay, so that's what I want you to do for your blog. And if you can, and I hope you all can, and you have a St. John's laptop which has a camera built in, it would be good if you could write your answer to this and then hit the Video Everywhere button, this little one I was saying, and record a video and explain to us why your teaching style is like Vincent Price making risotto while listening to Ella Fitzgerald. One thing I really want you to think about in this class is about your teaching style and what's great about your individual teaching performance, and try to translate that into an online class and not just make a generic online class, which can be rather dull. Okay. I'm going to go a little bit quicker now because I'm taking a long time. Okay, so the second exercise is for an Icebreaker Wiki. Okay, and a wiki is a different type of tool as altogether. So of course you wouldn't throw all these different tools at your students all at once. You might not even use them all within the whole class. What I'm doing here is a little unusual because I'm trying to get you to understand what these different tools do. Okay. And basically they all have the same kind of functionality when you click on them and go into them, and you'll see how you make a post in them. Okay, so this wiki is about a wiki, by the way, is it's a way to collate info or to collaboratively write on a document. So you have one document that lots of people can work on. There's different ways you can use them. You can use them to create one written piece of work if you're having the students write like one essay collaboratively. I've done this before. sometimes I think the students are a little uncritical of the other people's writing, and it tends to be something like a patchwork effect, and very obviously a patchwork effect. So this is something that if you're going to use it like this, to assign one person in the group to go back and rewrite the full thing and make sure that ideas are not repeated and that it works as an essay. Anyway, that's a bit of an aside. What I'm having you do here is to think about icebreakers that you might use in your class, and they can be of two types: very general ones or ones that are course-centered. Like, for example, in my world history class, I asked them the general question, how are you connected to history? And they might write a little bit about how this happens. Okay, so what I want you to do in this wiki is to plug in different icebreakers that you might use. Okay, journals. Okay, so for the journals, every week I want you to pick one of the learning objectives for the course. So the learning objectives are in the syllabus, which is up here in your toolbar, syllabus. Okay, so you click on that. You should download the syllabus anyway. There's a PDF version there to download, which means you'll always have my contact details, even if you can't get on Blackboard anymore. So pick a learning objective. It can be more than one, and if you're still working on one, it can be the same one over and over again if there's something you really want to get good at. And it doesn't have to be something that you're particularly good at. It could be something you're particularly bad at, or feel that you're particularly weaker on. And reflect on, pick it at the beginning of the week, and at the end of the week, use your journal to reflect on your progress. So this is kind of a self-guided exercise. And also, if you find yourself, I just spotted a spelling mistake there too. So if you find yourself unmotivated in the week or facing a challenge, you've got events with children or something like that, and life is intervening, this is a good space to write about that too. Not because I'm that nosy, but because your students will always have these problems too. And think about, okay, this is what may have held me back or potentially held me back, but I overcame it. And think about how you would encourage students to rise to these kinds of challenges too. Okay, so that's the journal tool. Last tool for this week is the discussion board. And in the discussion board, I want you to write about how you might use these tools that you've seen already, including the discussion board, which you'll currently be using, which might seem a little odd, and how you might use them in your classes. Okay, so if you've not used WebPoint 2 tools before and you're thinking of multiple choice tests and a couple of essays, these are ways to really expand the connectivity and use the online environment in the way it really should be used for teaching to make classes more dynamic. Okay, so make one substantial post that describes this, and then try to make at least 4 different further posts during the week of at least 20 words which respond to what other classmates have said, and try to say more in your responses other than just good job, yay, good post. This is always a problem with discussion boards, is students tend to be quite reserved about their opinions. And in some ways this is good. You don't want them to lay into each other on a discussion board, but you do want them to engage in ideas, and part of engaging in ideas is sometimes disagreeing in a polite way or offering constructive criticism. But sometimes, if you just encourage people to say what they really like about an idea rather than just saying good job, or how that makes them think differently about what they posted, this can be a way to get the conversation started as well. Okay, that's enough from me. That's your goals for week 1. I'm hoping that's not too much. It's about the right amount of work for a week. So, pace yourselves and try not to get everything sort of in on Sunday at midnight, or the other people in the group won't have a chance to really see what you're doing. So try to at least do a little bit during the week too. Okay, well, welcome to Pedagogy One, and let's get stuck into thinking about some Web 2.0 technology. Okay, thank you.